CEOs, what's up? It's your boy CEO Option. I'm back with another video. And before I even go ahead with this video, I'm just gonna say right now, it's probably gonna be a long video. So if you don't have any snacks, go get it. If you don't have a notepad, maybe go get it. Oh, okay, my brother. Just trying to keep this right here. Better stay, boy. Anyways, yeah. If you don't have a notepad, go get one probably. Or if you have your phone right by you, only have the Notes app, all right, open. And with that being said, if you're ready, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just start. So this video is titled "Attention All High Schoolers," and yes, I want the attention of all the high schoolers. Hopefully one day all the high schoolers or any student that is in high school watches this video or is exposed to this video, so you know what's up. So what do I want your attention for? You ready? All right. You ready? Okay. There's a low chance of you seeing those that you do every day currently once those 4 years are over. So those 4 years of high school. So what does this mean? Those who are referred to as the cool kids will be non-existent in your life. Those who might act rude and or like they're the shit and you're not won't be in your lives forever. It'll be temporary. Knowing that this is temporary, I want you to live your life to the fullest without giving a single fuck about them. I want you to instead write down the interests of your own. I want you to focus on how great you are, how cool you are, and I want you to build on that. School doesn't address the stupid status that the students try to represent on a daily basis. It doesn't teach you how to be yourself, let alone to not care for those who act out of character for attention. They don't even mention that most of those who are regarded as fake among your class do what they do for attention solely. Briefly, I mentioned above a status that school doesn't address, right? So let me just be clear on this, what this status is. It can be the status of being born into wealth. It can be the status of having tons of followers on social media. It can be the status of having the freshest clothes and or kicks. It can be the status of being in a relationship with the baddest female and or male. It can be the status of being known the most through the locker rooms, hallways, let alone school itself. It could be the status of having the best looking haircut, hairstyle, and or makeup. Now, before I define what I just mentioned above, let me break down each one simply. Being born into wealth doesn't mean these peers of yours earned it themselves. They might have parents who just like offload money to their kids who then flaunt it at school. Again, don't get it fucked up. They didn't earn a single penny of it by working hard and or working smart. They were just born into it, meaning they really aren't this shit. It's just a term of being known as a trust fund baby in reality. Having tons of followers on social media has no real significant value, especially when there isn't a positive message spread with that account. In other words, there's a high chance of that whoever has a lot of followers on these apps spend hours and hours just analyzing who likes their posts and how they need to look and or post next, like it's a full-time job or something. This leads to a chance of overthinking how to display yourself on the internet instead of being your real self. These apps get stronger and stronger day by day by fucking with your mental, that you don't even notice it unless you separate yourself from them. So if Ashley has a lot of followers, or even Jerry, note that they probably are so out of loop in terms of reality, since their reality is that phone, that social media app. Having the freshest clothes and or kicks at school does not mean shit. You know why? Because for one, there's a high chance of you growing out of them physically. So why value something that won't be worn in a few years, let alone a year after having it? Secondly, clothes and or kicks are literally being made every day at this point, where there is something new always. There's always a new trend, a new way of wearing clothes. So why not just wear it? The real reason to wear these clothes and or kicks is just to put it on our bodies to be clothed and to have our feet warm. And in school, you have peers that want to make it seem that you're not going to school for the education. Instead, you're there to Instead, you're there to partake in the make-believe fashion runway. Being in a relationship with the baddest female and or male is temporary. Let me just say that for short. The chances of those who are together in high school to be together once done with high school is very low. Now, I'm not here to say that there won't be a relationship that forms in high school that thus pans out further. I actually know one. And I don't know many. That's my exact point. I feel as though that relationships in high school are a distraction in itself set up by school themselves. It could be the coolest kids at school that are together, again, that shit don't last. And it's really cringe-like and corny how people really make them out to be. That's just me being reflective of my own experience, looking back at the ones I've seen during my time in high school. Again, overall, relationships are not everything. When not being in one, you should look at that as another opportunity where it's just you and you can just focus on all of you. You don't have responsibilities to tend to, again, for the ones that you want to give yourself freely. Know this about relationships too. When you're in one, it's not just you anymore. It's another individual that you have to care for besides yourself. And a lot of the times, you won't even realize it until after being in one that you aren't ready to be one until you figure it out. Bro, I can't speak, but I'm not going to cut this part out. Thanks for being patient with me. So, and a lot of times you won't even realize until after being in one that you aren't ready to be in one until you figure out yourself and love yourself fully. And I'm gonna just say this. There's a high chance that you won't be able to love yourself fully until you're done with school entirely, because there's so much shit thrown at you daily that you're constantly problem solving other shit that is dictated by a grade at the end instead of yourself. Being known the most through the locker rooms, hallways, let alone school itself, doesn't really hold much value after those 4 years. So why care so much if nobody knows you? They probably won't even remember you afterwards, and that's the advantage that isn't recognized enough. You can be yourself and practice daily throughout those 4 years, so when you're finished with high school, you have mastered something about yourself that those who haven't yet have to figure out when attending college and or whatever it is they pursue next in life. I'll give you a quick example. So my first year of high school, right? The only time my name was known was when they called it out during the honor roll ceremony shit, right? Which was held at our gym where all the students would be at. And whenever they called me out for that 4.0 thing that I achieved whilst walking up to get my certificate, I'd hear peers of mine that would be like, "Who is that?" And or I didn't know he went to our school, dead ass. I would hear people whispering shit or just saying shit. Literally when we're it's those benches, they're layered benches or whatever. We're all sitting there and we're posted and we're just waiting for our names to be called, right? And I literally hear people saying shit like that. To me, I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. But now I'm glad they didn't know me, because there's no point. You know what I'm saying? There's no value in that. But what do I mean by this? So those same peers of mine at school are the same ones who I haven't seen, let alone heard from since then. I say this to have you realize, just be you. All that other shit is played out. Having the best looking haircut, hairstyle, and or makeup doesn't mean shit unless you love the way you look internally. Meaning, before you even think about what others may perceive it as, focus on what you think about how you look and if you love that. If you love it. Stay true to that. Do that so that when you get to that next thought about what others may perceive it as, you won't even care about that. Thus, moving forward, those thoughts of what others may think will be non-existent. I'm going to just say this. For the girls who even put makeup on the daily, I commend you. Because I know it takes time, sometimes hours to do before going to school, to the point where you're probably waking up mad early to just get to that part, to just get that part of your day done with. Excuse me. Now, let me just say this. Make sure you're doing this for the sake of you and only you. Not for others to recognize it, because everyone is in their own world. So rid yourself of any expectations. Slay your makeup for yourself and tell yourself that you did that. That's all that's needed. In terms of haircuts, fuck all that gotta have the freshest haircut mentality. You just emptying your pockets money-wise for some approval of how you look. Now, if you love getting haircuts every 2 weeks, let alone every week, do so while it's all for you. Not for the girl in class to notice you. That shit corny. If you really want her to notice you, go up to her and say, "What's up?" She'll be more likely to remember that than how defined your hairline is today. Lastly, in regards to the hairstyles, whether you are a male or female, and or whatever it is that you might define yourself as, rock the hairstyle that makes you happy and feel good. Others might mock how your hair looks, and guess what? There's a chance that they can't even rock it the way you do, so they feel the need to project out their insecurities to feel better. Corny, ain't it? You should try any hairstyle that comes to mind, because when you're in high school, you're so young that your hair will grow back in full and healthier than it might when you get older. Obviously, depending on the genetics that you have. Again, you get my point. Try anything that feels good, because you'll mostly have the opportunity to grow back and or go back to how it was before. Ishi, now that I've done that all for you, right? Now that I broke it down for you, those statuses are related to words that are defined as materialistic, fake relationships, social media addiction, trust fund babies, popularity, and egotistical. The words that I just mentioned are words that high school fails to alert you about. This is something they deem isn't as imperative as the outdated history that they teach you. Then let me be the first to tell you that your mental health revolves around you and how you feel about yourself. Rid yourself of the factors that I mentioned above and learn to love yourself to the fullest extent. Okay, that was like 13 minutes. Okay, maybe that wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. But hey, I really hope that you stuck through that whole part, because that's pretty much it that I wanted your attention for, besides these 4 screenshots that I feel as though correlate with what I had to share with y'all today. And the first one, I'm going to say this one. It goes like this. It's like a letter to yourself. It's like on a sticky note. Dear me, do what makes you truly fucking happy. Love me. Say that one more time. Dear me, do what makes you truly fucking happy. Love me. The next one. Tomorrow you could wake up and the person you love can love someone else. But tomorrow, $100 bill will still be $100 bill. I'm gonna say that one more time too. Tomorrow you could wake up and the person you can love, or the person you love, can love someone else. But tomorrow, $100 bill will still be $100 bill. The next one. Your energy is too powerful to be wasted on impressing others, convincing others, or correcting them. Say that one more time. Your energy is too powerful to be wasted on impressing others, convincing others, or correcting them. Got that? Got that? All right. And last one is be who you want to be. Live how you want to live. You get to decide who you are. Say that one more time. Be who you want to be. Live how you want to live. You get to decide who you are. And that's pretty much it that I wanted to share with y'all for today. I hope that you fucked with that. I hope that it in one way or another, there was something in this video that you could take away and just like really fuck with and really just apply it to your life. I don't know if you're in high school or if you're about to get into high school or you're in the midpoint of your high school and you haven't realized that shit yet. But I feel like in high school, the only thing people really talk about, at least when I was in high school or like around that time, is like people reflect on like how junior year is your hardest year of school, high school. Like that's the hardest year, right? But I feel like in reality, the hardest part is just dealing with all the bullshit that comes with school in general, but I'm just saying in high school especially. Like there's so many factors, like I just mentioned, that has to do with being cool or doing something a certain way to be noticed. And it's like, you're not gonna see these people forever. And that's the one thing school doesn't even mention, is like school is temporary. The people that you surround yourself is temporary. In high school, you will make good friends. Trust me, I have friends from high school, but I only have a few friends from high school that I still talk to this day, that I hang out with or play video games with or whatever. And I promise you that's going to be the same. You're not going to be friends with everyone that you are now, like 4 years afterwards or 5 years later. The only time you might see them is at some like reunion that they do for high school when you get older and shit like that, when everyone comes back together. But in reality, like you gotta make what you want to do your life. Like you should not be focused on who got the freshest kicks. If you're not able to get them fresh kicks, write it down on a note. When you get older, right? When you get that money, when you get that paper, if you really fuck with it still, if you look at that and be like, you know what, I actually still fuck with this, or I really want this, or I want to see this, how this looks on my feet. See if I can fuck with this, if I can rock this, you know what I'm saying, like on the daily. Okay, as time goes by, when your feet gets bigger, right? Unless your feet stays the same, then all right. Wait till then and then buy it. Why the hell are we buying shoes and flexing all that kind of shit? Especially if you know the term dead stock or whatever. Like if you're just gonna keep your shoes dead stock, my nigga, there's no point in keeping them shoes, bruh. Unless you're like some sneakerhead, but mostly people are not sneakerheads in reality. They might like a lot of sneakers, but sneakerheads, there's like different definitions. There's different type of people, like hype beasts and all that kind of stuff. But as a normal person, I'm not saying, people are not normal, people are just themselves. But what I'm saying is, like on a normal level, just on a level-based type of thing, right? You following? There's no reason for you to be spending your money or wanting to spend your money on this shit, because it's all materialistic. It's all for the looks and glamour. But if it doesn't genuinely make you happy inside, then, because it's like you can buy the newest Jordans because everyone knows about them. But then, guess what? Next week, in 2 months, in December, in the spring, there's gonna be a new set of Jordans that come out. New pair of Jordans, new whatever, refurbished or like redesigned, whatever, right? And people are gonna forget what you bought because they're focused on what's currently out or what's about to come out. So if you're buying that shoe and it doesn't satisfy you only, if it doesn't satisfy you fully, don't buy it. Don't think about getting it because it's not worth it. Because once you buy it, once you have it, then what? Are you making money out of it? Are you what are you possibly doing? Do you follow my rift? You feel me? All right. And yeah, for the girls, like, just be you. Like, enjoy your makeup, especially for like my African sisters, my nigga. Like, don't worry about what these, like, you know what I'm saying, the other type of people out there that make you feel like the way you rock your hair or your makeup, or if you don't rock makeup, or how your lips look, or all that kind of stuff. Because it's funny, people be following these trends or be saying shit, but then it's like later on in life, like, let's just say this, girls will go out their way to like get their lips done because they realize that lips are great, or like having lips are great, like, it's, you know what I'm saying, they want to have that. But my African sisters, you have lips, you're blessed, you're all natural, so enjoy that, be blessed about that, recognize that, because be copying our trends. They be doing certain things later on in life that they hated you on, or like they hated on you for having back then. You feel me? Does that make sense? So just be you, be your pure self. A lot of my African sisters, mostly for sure, like, you don't even need to wear makeup, but if that makes you happy, bro, do that. Like, I'm telling you, my nigga, do that. But don't do it for Larry or Jerry over here to just notice you, because them niggas ain't shit. You feel me? Like, you the shit. Everyone who watches this video, you are the shit. That's all that matters. You get me? You get me? Anyways, that's pretty much it that I really wanted to share with y'all that came to my mind first today. And I was like, you know what, bro? I'm just gonna go off and just do my thing, do my Dougie, and just tell y'all what's up. The reason why, I mean, like, I kind of like this. I never really had this position, like had it like this, or at this angle. But I'm actually currently waiting for a fucking package to arrive. It says it's gonna arrive between the time of now and like the next 2 hours. So and it's like one of those packages where you have to like sign, and if you don't sign, then they just get further and you have to wait till the next day to get it again. I hate that shit, bro. Or at least like have a place where like I can go pick it up later today. I don't know. I wasn't even expecting it to be delivered at my house. It's supposed to be at the local grocery store right by my house that like has their like drop-off center, like a drop-off center. But anyways, I'm just waiting for that. Pretty much today's Friday. I'm about to just be productive for the rest of my day. This was one thing that I really was just like, damn, I really want to share this with y'all today. And I really hope that this doesn't get on to the next generation of high schoolers. I really hope this video, like, in one way or another, like, gets to the current, like, those who are 2020, 2021, 2022, like, current high schoolers, current students in general, but really the high schoolers for sure. Because I know when I was in high school, my first year, I was really silent. But it was because I was more focused on school. But then as the years go on, I had to figure out a lot, and it just a lot of shit that I wish I really knew or understood when I was at that point. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? This is valuable shit that I feel as though when you really listen to this and really hear the whole thing, you're really gonna fuck with it and be like, wow, this nigga really speaking facts. Because it might be, I mean, you know, as time goes on, there's newer technology, newer things, but it's the same way. People act the same way. This is every year. There's prom, there's this and that, but it's like, my nigga, if you're not happy, if you're not doing your thing, then niggas won't be receptive of that truly. People only notice when you're happy, when you do shit that makes you happy and you don't care for their opinion, or like, you know, if you want their attention or whatever. Like, you just doing it and then them seeing what the fuck, like, this nigga does not care if I look at him or see her doing this or whatever. Like, they be like, what the fuck? And then that's when they really notice that you really just to yourself type of person. And that's what matters most. You get it? You get me? All right, boys and girls, Anta, Anchi, my niggas, bro, you my niggas. I hope that you have a blessed day. Yeah, it's your boy, Sio Abisha. I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Love y'all. Peace.